Going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gold Standard Culture. I'm Chris, covering the Warriors again. Got the podcast with Dominic tonight, so stay tuned for that. Granted, that'll be uploaded tomorrow, but still. What a game for the Warriors here. Final game of their opening road trip here. Back-to-back in New Orleans. Last season, it's always New Orleans, man. The Warriors had at least like 2 or 3 back-to-backs that ended in New Orleans where, everyone's sad. It was all the young guys versus the, fully stacked Pelicans team each time. We got stomped out by every single game there. But this game, first back-to-back, Steph plays, Draymond plays, CP, everyone. However, Klay did not play. I think some knee soreness, and Kuminga didn't play, who I think had foot soreness, if I'm not mistaken. He might also had a knee thing. I think it was feet. For the Pelicans, no Brandon Ingram, unfortunately. Don't know why he didn't play. Didn't see, let's say knee soreness for Ingram. Okay. EJ Liddell didn't play, which was shocking because I know he was one of their top picks a couple years back, but he tore his ACL his rookie year. No Trey Murphy, he's hurt, like we were talking about yesterday, and no Jose Alvarado, he's also hurt. But Zion did play. For the most part, both teams kind of evenly matched. Warriors missing, the second most consistent three-point shooter and one of their biggest bench pieces. So, and for the Pelicans, they're missing 2 of their biggest bench pieces, as well as Brandon Ingram, who's their second best scorer, maybe first, depending on how you view Zion. This was a fantastic game. It was a fantastic game. If you're a Warriors fan, if you're a Pelicans fan, you're pissed. But if you're a Warriors fan, you fucking loved what you saw. I was thoroughly impressed on just how I felt. And not even so much just the game in general, but just how I felt watching it. As we've talked about, last season was not fun to be a fan of the Warriors. It was just such a mess. So much chaos, especially on the road. Nobody could ever really get things together. There's no continuity. Injuries, missing, people punching. It was just, there's so much bullshit that went on to fuck up the season. And so the road was just an absolute shit stain. It was terrible to watch. It was just, they blew leads left and right. The turnovers were abysmal. The shooting percentages sucked. The rebounding was awful. It was just, all in all, an absolute mess. So far, what we're witnessing is just, Steve Kerr mentioned it after the game. He was like, last season was an outlier. We're typically a great road team, which is true. The Warriors have always been a pretty solid road team in this era. So to see him getting back to that, but to do it in the way that they're doing it is just incredible to watch, because it's such a flip. It's such a 180, I didn't expect them to start 3-0 on the road, beat the fully healthy Kings, go in and beat the Rockets, then on a back-to-back 30 ball, the Pelicans, 130-102, like missing 2 of your better players. So, to see this, it's very uplifting. It really is. It just makes you think, okay, this team starts clicking. Draymond gets into the swing of things. Chris Paul gets fully integrated. We saw the rookies get some playing time tonight. They get more run time. Kuminga, his game starts fully coming together. Moses keeps feeling better about himself. Wiggins gets rolling. If all the pieces mesh, they already do, but if all of them start, really clicking together, Warriors are going to be dangerous, man. This bench unit is just, there's something else. They are something fucking else. I genuinely haven't seen anything like this since like 2017. It's been a very long time since I've seen a bench for the Warriors this competent, this good, and it's what we talked about when Chris Paul first got traded to the Warriors. It's like having 2 starting lineups because Chris Paul just plays the game differently. he can run transition, he can play in transition, he can run with Steph and the gang, but he's at his best, slowing the pace down, bringing things to a halt, getting in pick and roll, getting to that elbow, throwing the lob, the little bounce pass, bringing an extra defender, kicking out to the wing. Like, Chris Paul is a very, 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 floor manipulative player. And the Warriors just have not had that. They didn't have that with Poole. They didn't have that when Brad Wanamaker was the backup point guard. They didn't have that when Livingston was the backup point guard. When Cook, they haven't had a guy that could do this in the Steph Curry era. So to have that all of a sudden is just, it really is beyond a godsend, really, just to take this team to the next level. Because when you look at the West, there aren't many breaks, man. You're not gonna get many opportunities if you fuck up a lot. So having consistency up and down the roster is just a big thing. And barring any injuries, knock on wood, I think this team's going to do mighty fine. I liked what I saw from the starters tonight. Andrew Wiggins had himself a bit of a coming out party. He only had 9 points. And I know you're going to say, well, how's that a coming out party? But the efficiency was there. The shot selection was better. The defense was really good. Andrew Wiggins had his best game of the season so far. Only played 20 minutes, but still had the best game of the season. And hopefully that's just something to build off of, that's the main thing. It's the same thing with Klay. It's like, and Draymond. Right now, just build. We know it's you're ramping up. You're taking some time. But build in the right direction, and I think everyone's doing that right now. Wiggins kind of started off slow. The jump shot wasn't falling. He's starting to kind of get it back a little bit. We saw a couple more mid-range jumpers fall. He had a corner three. Only took 2 threes, which I liked. It's like, okay, bring down the volume just a little bit, and only take him if you have to. And the nice thing about Wiggins is both threes that he made in the last 2 games came off of starting out in the second half, hitting a post up, little hook push shot thing that he does, going against guards in the post, and then following that with the 3. So starting inside, moving out. A couple years ago, Wiggins was the opposite, ironically. Hit the 3, then he'd go in. But you like to see him kind of get back to what it should be, which is, okay, start off slow and then start taking the jump shot. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Wiggins. Keep it up. The rebounding, he had 3, still not a lot, but just, again, keep building. Steph, and, Steph, again, we talked about it yesterday. The dude's not human. The shooting that he does, at the efficiency that he does, the defense that he gets is unlike anything I've ever seen. Again, it's different with a dude like LeBron. And that's not to shade LeBron or to disrespect it, but it's like LeBron 6'8", 260, probably the greatest athlete to ever grace sports ever. Who has been the dominant athlete in their sport for 20 years and consistently been top 3 in GOAT conversations to their respective sport, while being 38 years old, still being able to compare athletically to the best in the game that are like 23. There just aren't any. There's no other athlete in any sport that is comparable to LeBron. And that being said, it's, when he's getting double, triple teamed, he's big. He's bigger and faster and stronger than you. So it's hard to, what are you going to do? You can only do so much without fouling. But a 6'3" point guard who is not like John Moran, who can soar in the air, and he's not like Drew Holiday, who's buff as shit. Steph's obviously gotten strong over the years, and he's stronger than people think still. But he's not some, post-game, point guard. The fact that he's able to take on the defense that he gets and turn it into 42 points, 15 of 22 shooting, 7 of 13 from 3. It's just insane. It really is just insane. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think we ever will see anything like it again. Dude's getting double, triple teamed. I mean, they were starting to double Steph and trap Steph in the first fucking quarter. When do you see that? The first quarter. They're already sending help because he's already cooking, you know. It's insane to watch. And as you see right there, because Klay didn't play, Moses Moody got to start. And Moses started off a bit slow, but really came into the game. And I'm telling you, man, he's looking great. And like I said before, I fully take back what I said at the start of the season, where I was like, I don't know how he's going to look with this team. His role is just awkward a little bit. I take that back, man. He has completely proven me wrong. He's playing assertive basketball. He's making great plays offensively, defensively. He's taking smart shots. He's getting to the cup, getting to the line, shooting threes, rebounding. We already know that's one of his strengths. Like reading passing lanes, the steal capabilities he's had this to start this season, fantastic. Like he blocked a shot that for some reason doesn't count here, but he did block a shot. Oh no, that was against Shangun. Sorry, that was yesterday, Sunday. But Moses has just been incredible. Plus 18 on the night as well, 13 points, 5 of 8 shooting. Like, I'm beyond impressed with how well he's played to start the season. Draymond, like I said, it's the same thing with Wiggins and Klay. It's just ramp it up. Draymond played better. He played fucking phenomenal defense on Zion. Absolutely shut Zion down in the second half. I don't think Zion scored in the second half of the second quarter and midway through the third quarter because Draymond was clamping him. I think he legit just shut him down. Kevon Looney also put in some help to shut down Zion as well. I mean, 19 points for him, 7 of 15 shooting, only shot 1 3. Pretty much everything else he took was inside of the paint. So to have him miss 8 layups / dunks, they were contesting the alley-oops. Wiggins got in the middle of one. Draymond got in the middle of one. Granted, Zion ended up picking the ball back up and just going up for a quick layup, but still, they played him very well, better than I thought they would. I thought Zion would be a huge problem, but because Brandon Ingram didn't play, they were able to kind of put more attention towards Zion than they normally would have. But yeah, very, very, very good game defensively from Draymond. And that's, you know, it's kind of similar with Gary. It's like, whatever he does offensively is extra at this point in his career. You're there for the defense, you're there for the playmaking, you're there for the rebounding. That's Draymond's strength. And yeah, he did it to a T. And to only have 2 fouls as well is pretty impressive. But this is where the meat and potatoes are, because the bench is just what completely won the game here. I mean, Steph, of course, but the bench was unbelievable. Like I said, we got to see Trace Jackson Davis play, the rookies, and Brandon Pajemski. Brandon Pajemski, congratulations, first career points. Kind of funny, at halftime, Bob Fitzgerald and Kalena Azubuike were interviewing him and asked him how he felt about those first career points, and his first response was, I also had a couple assists. So, you know, it's minor, it's funny, but that mentality we already saw when he got drafted. You know, we just see it with the personality. We've heard him talk in the interviews and the, you know, press conferences and stuff. He's serious about, I'm just doing what the team needs. Whatever that means. If that's scoring, I'll score. If that's passing, I'll pass. If that's rebounding, I'll rebound. If it's stealing, I'll steal. Like, Brandon is just a team player, and he's going to do what needs to be done to win. And that is how you end up getting minutes on this team, because he's trying to take charges. He had 4 fouls. A couple of them were just, you know, like, what are you going to do? Dude's barreling down at you. Kind of just have to swipe down and hopefully, you know, just prevent the layup and force him to make the free throws. And he also missed a couple charge opportunities, but he was just incredible, man. Incredible. 5 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, getting on the offensive glass, making Zion and Jonas Valanciunas have to work extra hard to get an offensive rebound. And you see here, they had 14, you know? Like, that's a lot. That's still a lot. I know the Warriors had 21, so everybody's like, whoa. But 14 for your opponent. The Warriors have, kind of always been a team, at least in the last, 4 or 5 years. They're just smaller, and the offensive rebounds tend to be a bit of a problem. To have a guy like a guard like Podziemski, it was like we saw with DiVincenzo last season, constantly attack the glass and make getting extra opportunities more difficult. It's the same with Wiggins in the finals against the Celtics. Like, just make life difficult for the guys trying to get on the offensive glass, and I think Podziemski showed that he's very capable of that. Trayce Jackson-Davis should have a double-double. Unfortunately, doesn't. Almost did. They took off one of his rebounds, but 7 offensive rebounds alone for Trayce. One of them was like a self alley-oop. It was kind of fucking crazy. Trayce he's great. Also the 4 blocks, and again, look at the minutes, man. 13, 9, and 4. 5 of 9 shooting, 3 of 4 from the line in 20 minutes. Come on, dude. Like, come on, man. Trayce looked fantastic out there. I think, Dario is playing well. I know the shooting has kind of been a little bit streaky for him, but Dario's a great rebounder. He's a great playmaker, but the defense is a little bit of an issue because guys just attack him. We saw against the Rockets, they were going straight at Dario. Against the Kings, they were going straight at Dario. Phoenix straight at Dario. Pelicans straight at Dario. So I think Trayce Jackson-Davis, the more trust he gains with Steve Kerr, I think the more minutes he's going to get because, Dario is great in his own respect, but he can be kind of a player to get bullied on the floor. So I think Trayce is going to play a little bit more than we expected, which is fantastic. Also, Corey Joseph only played 5 minutes. I think Podziemski is also a guy who's going to end up lapping him. I said at the start of this, Podziemski, if Chris Paul goes down, Podziemski is your backup guard. And that is it's a downgrade because Chris Paul is just elite, but it's not a downgrade in the sense that it's like, okay, you're going from him to Wanamaker. That's a downgrade. But Podziemski, it's like, okay, you're getting a guy who could average 6-7 rebounds as a point guard, great playmaker, hard-nosed defender, really makes an effort for the ball, takes smart shots, already knows how to get Steph and Klay into position, just elevates everyone around him. It's not a bad place to be in if you're Steve Kerr, so pretty awesome to see. Gary also played well. Gary's been playing well, and the scoring has been a big surprise to see him kind of consistently provide some offense. Gary is one of those players. It's not an Andre Roberson situation where you're genuinely sitting there like, if I could get 2 points out of you, I'm happy. Like, that's how valuable. Gary's defense is extremely valuable, but he's also giving you the offense to go with it. And I know 4 of 10 shooting is not the best, but you want him taking those open threes. You want him taking those layups in transition. If he makes them, awesome. If he doesn't, you live with it. But he's playing very good basketball right now, and he's been very crucial to this bench being as strong as it has been. Overall, man, the Warriors killed it. Also want to point out, the Warriors out-rebounded the Pelicans, 64-39. Let's do some math here. That's 21 by 25. 25 rebounds is what they out-rebounded them by. They only had 25 defensive boards. Okay. I know they're down Trey Murphy, who's like 6'10", Brandon Ingram, who could get on the glass, Jose Alvarado, pesky guard, gets in the glass, but Warriors aren't some, world-beating, big man. It's not the Cavs with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley playing, this is a pretty small team, so to see them out-rebound New Orleans like that was pretty awesome. Also, one of the big measures we've always talked about with the Warriors and their success is hitting that 30 assist mark. The assists for the Warriors are always a general consensus of where they're at in terms of success, and they didn't even hit the 30 assist mark. They got 28, and they still 30-balled the Pelicans. Um, it's awesome to see, man. It's awesome to see. 14 turnovers, not bad for the Warriors, not bad. 21 fouls, but you're dealing with Zion, so hard to really have any sort of negative feelings about that. The shooting percentages, shooting it a bit better. Again, the 3-point shot is still coming along for this team. The consistency, at least. Again, Dario trying to find it for himself right now. Wiggins, he's trying to get back to his rhythm. Steph's been shooting the shit out of the ball. Moses has been shooting the shit out of the ball. Chris Paul, he made a 3. He made one yesterday against the Rockets as well. But Chris Paul's 3, it'll be there. It's not elite, but can go in, and we know he's clutch. GP, not many times you're gonna see him take 6 threes. So if he could be 1 of 3 a game, you live with it. Ipajemski, we know the jump shot's there. It's just going to be a matter of him being comfortable in taking it a lot. So I'm totally happy with the shooting where it's at right now. It's going to get better as the season continues. But yeah, man, overall, the Warriors played the best game. And I don't remember, I think it's been at least since like the first half of 2022 or the first half of the 2021-22 season that the Warriors have had a 3-0 road trip. I think it's been that long. Because we know when Steph went cold trying to get the 3-point record, the Warriors started to slip. And then Draymond got hurt. And then they really started to slip. And Klay still hadn't gotten into the season yet. Because he came back, January 10th? Or something like that? 14th? Mid-January is when he came. And I think Draymond came back in late February, maybe early March or something like that. And then Steph went out, so it's like the Warriors did not have much consistency in that second half, and they were starting to slip a bit. So I do think that this is the first time they've had a 3-0 road trip since the the early first half of the 2 seasons ago, which again, when you think about that, is pretty amazing. Last season, I don't think they won back-to-back road games. I genuinely don't. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think they did. I think they won something like they won 1 for every 3 losses kind of deal. So to see them win handedly like this, the anxiety is starting to fade away. It's like, okay, this team is competent. This team can defend, can get on the glass, do what needs to be done to win, handle the best players on an opponent's team. And now they're getting tested by the Kings on Wednesday again. For the Warriors, luckily no De'Aaron Fox. Unfortunate for the Kings. Luckily no surgery needed. He had an ankle sprain that he tried to play through in that Kings-Lakers OT game the other night. But he will be out for some time, they said. I don't think they mentioned a potential return date for him, but out for some time. I'm assuming the consensus is at least a month. So gonna be a little bit tough there for the Kings, but even though you're missing 25 and 8, you're still dealing with a fantastic ball club. So Wednesday at home, still going to be a bit of a tough matchup for the Warriors, and the Kings are still going to try and beat your head in. So you gotta play like you did tonight or last night. For the Pelicans did as good as they can. We know when this team is fully healthy. We saw last season a fully healthy Pelicans team can be one of the best in the league. They're that good. Brandon Ingram is a superstar. Zion Williamson is a superstar. Valanciunas is a great piece in this team. Just a good low post threat. Can space the floor a bit. Gets the rebounds. CJ, when he's playing at his best, he could get you 20, 25 on any given night on pretty solid efficiency. Trey Murphy, one of the better stretch fours in this league. Jose Alvarado, great playmaker coming off the bench, and he could shoot the 3 well. Got a good bench in general. Again, EJ Liddell not playing. Don't know why that is. Dyson Daniels getting better each day. Kyra Lewis, we know what he's capable of. Larry Nance, he's proven around the league. I liked what I saw from Jordan Hawkins. He was one of the rookies in this past draft. Came out of UConn, I'm pretty sure. Best shooter in the draft. He was striping, 2 of 7, but he was making shit happen. We know how good he can be. again, Trey Murphy comes back, Brandon Ingram comes back, Jordan Hawkins coming off your bench. I'm fine with that, man. And Herb Jones. Again, we talked about having those kind of Swiss Army knife guys. Luckily, didn't make much of an impact in this game. He was held at bay pretty well. But the Warriors just defended very well. I mean, 25% from three for the Pelicans, 40% from the field, 61% from the line, which I didn't even notice is a bit rough for the Pelicans. But Zion is not some elite free throw shooter, so that's kind of it is what it is, I guess, there. Granted, the Warriors only shot 65%, but we know Wiggins isn't a good free throw shooter. CJ had a bit of a rough night offensively. He was trying to get things going for that team, really was, but they guarded him well, made most of his shots extremely tough, and 7 of 21, 2 of 8 from 3. That's a great job defensively. You know, it just is. Valanciunas, Trace played some very good defense on him. Draymond had some help on him. Vaughn played pretty well against him. Jonas didn't have as big an impact in this game as he probably could, again, if this team's fully healthy. But yeah, I just loved the game. I genuinely, like, it was, you know, one of the first games in a while where it's like, that's the Warriors that we've been missing, that we've been waiting for, that can go on the road and handedly beat an opponent. Also, while down 2 of your better players, you know. Still, Draymond's only second game of the season. They didn't play in the preseason, so he's just getting loose now. It's impressive. It's impressive. And the West is really getting really shaken out in an interesting way because of it. Yeah, man. Kings on Wednesday, Chase Center. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully Klay's back. I'm pretty positive he will be. Same with Kuminga. I think everyone will be playing. But no De'Aaron, so you know, for the Warriors, it's one of those things where, you know, you're building on some great stuff right now. Don't try and take it easy on him. Don't, you know, give him any sort of life. You got spark plugs like Malik and Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter that you just do not want to give them any hope. So I really want to see the Warriors come out against this Kings team on Wednesday and take it to them. No mercy, just, you know, get it over and done with. Try to get up by 25 if you can, like midway through the third. Just take it to them. You got to. Because, you know, losing a game like that is just not what you want to do. It just isn't. So, I'm excited. Should be fun. Today's been interesting, you know, NFL trade deadline, so I'll be paying attention to that. Yesterday, Seahawks traded for Leonard Williams. Fantastic stuff. I know the 49ers just traded for Chase Young, so if you're a Niners fan, get excited. I didn't know edge rushing was a huge thing you guys needed, but I guess it is. So enjoy Chase. He's pretty nasty, so yeah. Anyways, like the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, but technically tonight when Dominic and I record the podcast. So, yeah, with that being said, have a good rest of your day, and see you then. Peace.